Most people download the Field Agent app and see $2 or $3 gigs and they delete it because they think the app isn't worth it. But if you follow these tips, you could see how people are making $25 to $30 an hour almost every day with this amazing side hustle app. Number one is the simplest, and it's one that you could try right now while you're watching this video, and that is to refresh the app as often as possible. Field Agent is the most competitive side hustle app out of any other similar app. So these gigs are going to be reserved in most areas as soon as they release, like within a couple of seconds. So if someone else refreshed it before you and reserved that gig, that means that that money's taken out of your pocket. So keep refreshing it, and you may find that when you go to accept the gig, it says that that it is no longer available. This is because it dropped, and before the system can refresh it, someone else took it. So don't think that it's a scam or that there are no gigs. You'll see that when you reserve them and you refresh and you're really on top of it, that you'll get almost everyone's that you reserve. So if you're doing other apps like DoorDash, Uber Eats, let's say you're waiting for a food to get done, waiting for a customer to come out and get their food, refresh the app as much as you can. Obviously, don't do it while you're driving, but just refresh the app and understand that this is a super competitive app. And maybe don't tell everyone you know about it like I did, and then have extra competition in your area. Next is going to be wait for the prices to increase. So right now, a bunch of $2 ones dropped at pretty much every Walmart. Now, what are you going to have to do for $2? Basically nothing. Basically just walk in and out of Walmart, take one photo, answer one question. So if you leave this, don't do it for a couple of days and then check back on it, they will still be there. But this $2 one could go to $5, $6, $7. One that was at like every CVS, every Walmart, every supermarket was for one photo of the magazines. And it started out as $2, but then it went up to $6. So I just spent the day and did like 100 of them in one day. So they will increase if no one does it. And that brings me to the third one is keep checking the app, because the gigs aren't always $2 and $3. Some of them can go all the way up to like $22, $25. The store walkthrough ones are going to be from $8 to $12 mostly, but they kind of increase to $15, $20. The most I've gotten for one of them was $19, and it literally takes just as much time as doing a $3 one. So check and see if there are going to be more higher paying gigs in your area. They do drop and they are there, but most of them are going to be $3. So my next tip is going to be look for stacked stores. So a lot of times, beginning of the month, certain times, there will drop 10, 15, 20 gigs at one set at Sam's Club, at one BJ's, at one Walmart. And a lot of times there'll be 10 gigs at the Sam's Club, 10 gigs at the Walmart right across the street. So now you're making as much profit as possible, because you don't have to drive to 20 different places, but you are making the money of doing $23 gigs. So keep an eye on Sam's Club, Walmart, BJ's, Costco, stores like that. They will drop multiple gigs at the same store. The way you could tell is on the map here. You see how this says, everyone says 1, but this one says 2. So it'll go up. If there's 20 gigs there, you'll see 20. If there's 1 gig there, you'll just see 1. Next tip is learn to take your pictures fast. So there is a learning curve. It may seem like it's a lot of pictures, and it may take you a really long time, like a half hour, 20 minutes to make $3. But once you've done these as much as I have, or after you've done a couple of them, you don't have to read the instructions. So you could just skip through the whole instructions, go in the store, get started like I do. And then you could take these pictures as you're kind of sidestepping through the store. So it doesn't take any time at all to take a whole aisle of pictures, because you could take these pictures really, really fast. Just make sure when you're starting out that your pictures are clear, because they could get denied. But most iPhones, you could take your pictures while walking pretty fast and they will come out perfectly clear. And my next tip is don't rely only on Field Agent. Yes, it's the one, at least in my area, that you can make the most money with, but it's not going to be enough for a full-time job or even a side hustle if you don't multi-app. So the other two apps that are pretty much the same as Field Agent are Mobi and Observa. And this channel is about side hustles without doing food delivery. But if you want, you could turn on Uber Eats or DoorDash while you're heading to an area where there's a lot of gigs. Sometimes like a half hour from me is West Palm Beach, so it makes sense for me to drive there because there's unlimited gigs. But why would I drive all the way south for free when I could log into Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, and then get paid for that drive there? And those are my tips for Field Agent. So click the link down below to sign up for Field Agent today.